Hong Kong 97 is a Chinese video game made in 1995 for the Super Nintendo. Its two most striking features are its difficulty and its 5-second music loop. Its 5-second music loop is a song made for children named I Love Beijing Tiananmen, and it repeats throughout the whole thing, the title screen and the death screen. The other striking feature, the difficulty, is immediately noticeable. If you do not know what you're doing, you are going to die in the first second of gameplay, because it's not immediately telegraphed, because it's not immediately telegraphed, but there are no safe NPCs in this game. Every NPC, including what I'm assuming to be Hong Kong natives, are hostile and will kill you if they touch you. Now for the third striking feature of this game. Yes, there's a third one. The death screen. The death screen is, well, the death screen is an actual photograph of a dead body, presumed to be the Polish boxer Leszek Blazinski, who died on the 6th of August, Gregorian, 1992, the same date as is shown on the photograph. It is superimposed with the text reading, Chin or Chiru is dead, and the timestamp shows 1 hour, 10 minutes, 25 seconds, and 27 frames into the video, leading some to believe that this is an entire video of Leszek's suicide, that somehow the developers of Happysoft have got their hands on. The story of the game is that it's the year 1997. The Hong Kong government have contracted Jackie Chan's cousin Chin to take out Chinese mainlanders because they're all communists, all 1.2 billion of them. So he tries, and the Chinese national government is working on a weapon that is like made from the body of Deng Xiaoping, and I haven't got to that point in the game, because if you'll remember earlier in the video, I said one of the game's most striking features is its difficulty. And I think this video will prove to you what that difficulty is. How difficult it is, sorry. Others have talked enough about this game though, so let's talk about something that hasn't been discussed as much in these videos. The game over screen. I've already said that it's been proposed that it's the dead body of Leszek Blazinski, but there are also other theories about who it is, including Atef Bezizo, who was killed on the 8th of June, Gregorian, 1992. There have been attempts to contact the developer, Kowloon Kurosawa, but he's never replied to questions about who it is. This was Happysoft's only video game too, and their sudden and unexplained disappearance kinda gives a bit of a bad vibe to them. I honestly think that the company is very terrifying, personally. And this is very far-fetched, but somebody on the Reddit page discussing the death screen suggested that Happysoft could have Happysoft could have been directly responsible for this person's death, whoever it is. Something that lends credence to the Lejeune theory is that there is no other video available for his suicide, but then that just raises the question of how Happysoft got it. It's just really, it's kind of creepy to me, to be honest. And you ought to be glad that I'm not turning on sound. I haven't turned on sound in the VSDC screen recorder. I did that for two reasons. One, the background music, which loops every 5 or 6 seconds, gets really annoying after a while. And if you check the length of this video, that's 262 loops. 262 loops of the same song the same part of a song over and over again. And combined with the image, you should be glad that I'm just overlaying music from my own library instead, because like hearing, say, like Pleasant Valley Monday or whatever I'm going to be putting up above this, with the image that you're going to see quite a lot of, is a lot less creepy than hearing a young Chinese girl talk or sing for about 6 seconds over and over again. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna do the rest of the video in silence then. Goodbye, my sheep. Toodaloo, go with God, and don't take any wooden nickels. That's it. Bye. I've just realized that I completely forgot to talk about the gameplay. The gameplay to this game is, this game is a multi-directional vertical shooter, so you're able to travel around the screen however you want. Enemies come down from the screen, and you go up the screen. There are 3 types of common enemies. There are the businessmen, which don't attack you, move in straight lines, and the only way you're gonna get hurt by them is if you run into them. But, like, their main advantage is that there are billions of them. The second type of enemy that you'll encounter is the gunman, who has a gun and tracks you. These are the most dangerous and the most infuriating enemies of the game. Once you see this person, unless you're really good at dodging, it's pretty much an immediate game over. And the third and final type of common enemy is the drunkard, I guess, who just sort of moves in a zigzag but doesn't actually fire anything. He does have a red shirt though, which means that you... Oh, and if you run into any of these, it's game over. So yeah, and honestly, all of the enemies are horrible. There's too many businessmen. If there weren't if there weren't as many businessmen, and if the gunmen traveled in a more predictable way than just following you around, then this game may not have been as bad. But that's basically like saying if Hitler didn't kill Anne Frank but killed all the other Jews, he wouldn't have been as bad. Um, like, like the enemies aren't the only problem, but they're one of the problems. And once you kill enough enemies, I believe you can advance to the boss, which is a picture of Deng Xiaoping that shoots at you, and if you shoot at it enough, or some people have said if you simply survive long enough, it explodes and the game restarts. So you only need to play this game until you beat the first boss to play all the way through it. Although I have heard that the background changes. Either that or you get a second cutscene. I haven't got to that point of the game, and I'm not going to. If only because of that. If only because of that death screen. But the way that Chin controls is fine. You press the X button, I believe, to shoot. Hold on. Let me check. It is input. You press the Y button to shoot. I'm sorry. I didn't know this for a long time. I just thought that you sort of dodged enemies. So that's what's up with the early deaths. And the gun is okay, but just like the other enemies' weapons, it's not hit scan. So you're gonna be dying a lot. And also the screen is way too small for this kind of game. There's barely enough room for your character to even breathe, let alone make it to... Well, I mean, the game calls him Tang, but he's Deng Xiaoping. Hold on. I didn't know this at first, but if you pick up the syringes, you actually get temporary immunity, so... I mean, considering the zeros that also drop, I just assumed that the game was out to kill me and not to pick up anything, but the syringes are actually helpful. So if you actually do decide to play this game, make sure you pick up as many syringes as possible when they drop, and Godspeed. So bye for now, I guess, until I remember something. yeah, right here I just couldn't go on, and I just rage quit because this game is so hard. Don't play this game. Don't play it.